Well, hello, you're welcome back to Gmodism, and we're here for another empirical testing. Was a little time ago, wasn't it? So, we're back indeed. I asked you in the Discord for a little poll if you wanted 2 Gimli battles per week, or if you want the other videos like the tutorial and imperial testing and stuff like that. Last I checked, about double the amount of people thought that let's just do 1 Gimli battle per week, so I can do some tutorials and other videos too. And one of those videos are the empirical testing videos. So if you wanna do, answer to those polls and stuff, of course, keep checked at YouTube page, the YouTube community page. For there I put some polls and stuff too. But otherwise, you'll need to be in the Discord. But in any case, today we are going to look at DIF guns. DIF-CIWS guns. So DIF stands for direct input feeding, which is of course APS. So if we go into the APS here, we can see we have a firing piece, and if we slap on inputs onto this firing piece just like that, we are having an input fed gun. Now this gun has 1, 2, 3, 4 and then 1 in the firing piece. So 5 shots to fire. And after those 5 shots, it will take ages for it to reload. Yeah, because direct input feed is really slow. This is a system we use to protect ourselves against some dangerous stuff like big CRAMs. You have probably seen the Gimli, and if you haven't, you must check out my pride and joy, the Gimli, very immediately. I think we're gonna just have a little cooler. Now, you don't need coolers on this, but it can be good to make them fire their volleys a little bit faster. The more coolers you have, the faster it will fire all of those shots. So this is basically the basics of a direct input fed gun. The other thing we need for a direct input fed gun is we need a close-in weapon system controller. And that's basically an AMS, APS, anti-missile system, or anti-projectile system, or point defense, or... Kärt barn har många namn, as we say in Sweden. What is it? Beloved kids have many names. I don't know if it works in English, but whatever. So this is a 500mm diff gun. We're gonna test out and see if FLAK, High Explosive, or Kinetic works the best against an array of targets. So the idea has been put to me in some different comments. I think from 2 or 3 different. I think it's probably like 3 different ways that have said to me that please compare High Explosive versus FLAK. Some person has said FLAK is so much better because it has a bigger surface and the increased high explosive damage is negligible. Someone has says that if you use explosive to on your diff gun, it will instead not deal as much damage towards projectiles, because FLAK has a bonus that is dealt to projectiles. Another person has said that explosives deals more damage against that just high explosive deals more damage because it deals more damage generally than FLAK. So as you can see, there are like a lot of different ideas about how to make good diff guns to protect yourself. And then yet another person says that, oh no, you'll need Kinetic, because Kinetic is worth it and you can make them smaller caliber and fire more often. In this video, for simplicity, we're only going to test 500mm shells, so results may vary if you choose another one, another size. But yeah, that's basically that. So with a diff gun, you basically fire the max shell. I'm just gonna show you, like, this is a previous diff gun I use. I think this is present on the Gimli. And if you just wanna see what it does, I don't know which one has, like, does the scuttle gun has some CRAMs? That's a little bit far away, isn't it? Oh. Look at that. And if we detect them in time... which we did not. Okay, let's see here. Are these munition warning systems? They are. Alright. Oh, this friend ain't loaded. So, we're gonna just create a little quick shell here. And what we basically need here... Let's see here. Just up the count here. We're gonna have... So, general, there is a... FLAK head then, I usually done, but let's do a high explosive head. And let's do some high explosive warhead bodies, and we can have like a lot of them. And the other thing we need is a timed fuse, so that's something we need to... like that. Perfect. And we're going to assign to all intakes, right. And we're also going to do like this. Apparel. Beautiful. So now we should be ready for the next shot. You can see the volley is popping in here. And I'm gonna slow down time so that you can see the effect of a diff FLAK gun. Now this is a diff high explosive gun. I just realized. So we're not 1,000,000% sure exactly. I never tested this, to be honest. So let's see if we detect a shell here. We should detect it pretty soon. And they will fire the shell with a pretty slow speed. We do want to max the damage the shell does. And that will be done at the expense of the cost. Come on now. And you can see we could take out those two shots there. And we did 8,000.55k damage. 8,550 damage, that is. Yeah, well, in any case, that's a diff gun. I didn't meant to test with this system. I just spawned it here in order for us to show you what it's basically all about. And because the rule sets can be a little bit tedious. Now this is a 2-axis turret, so it should be able to aim pretty freely like that. This is on a 1-axis turret. One important thing is that it has a munition detection system. I think if we have munitions coming from above, we can probably just add like a couple of there in case one disappears. Right. So what I wanted to check here is I want to go to this little rule set computer. Because inside of here we can see the main rules. So we have ignore inside 40 degrees. We have range, so we only fire at closer distance because of course this diff gun is going to be pretty inaccurate, so we can't fire them from too far away. Usually, that depends how you make it, but if you use diff guns, I would fire them at shorter range. And if you don't use diff guns, just normal FLAK, then you should probably start firing as far away as possible. But this is a diff gun empirical testing, right? So ignore outside, yeah, so we only shoot at big stuff, that's good. And the weight, range max, range minimum. This doesn't have that advanced rules actually. So it wanna shoot at the thing further, let's see here, type of projectile. Oh, we are prioritizing CRAM shells, right. So that we don't get tricked by small missiles. Ignore outside. Alright, oh yeah, and we ignore 2 slow ones. Well, this is a decent enough rule set. Some other rule sets have some other rules. I'm just gonna paste those there. Let's see here, sub-objects. Where is my... Is it the Sky... No, that's not it. It's the S-Corp 456. This is like lower cost. And we can see this has a rule set which is number of civs aiming, so that it wants to spread out its shots basically a little bit. Yeah. Weight at range max. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, here we can see another set of rules. It's pretty similar, as you can see. Type of projectiles is a little bit out of rule set, but it's basically how we set them up. We have some different stuff like that, and number of civs aiming. There is another one that's like shots fired or something. I think we have another turret that uses this. Specifically, I learned this from a turret from Setups Manual Civs, this thing. I learned it from this, wherever it's... I can never find the computer, but anyways, I learned it from this beautiful design. It uses the shots fired metric, and the shots fired metric is basically, yeah, it basically makes sure that you don't shoot several diff rods at a target. Now, for this to be a proper diff-FLAK, we actually need to have a laser targeter on it, because we need to detonate the shells in the air. It can be sitting anywhere. Then we also need an ammo controller, and we're gonna make the max size. So we're gonna do like this. Let's see here, that's 20 modules. And inside of here we can see some different types of stuff. So if we, for example, go in with a FLAK head and FLAK warhead body. Let's see here. Should probably do like this. FLAK warhead body, fill to head, and we can go with FLAK head. Now let's see here. We have a speed. Let's see here. Drag up this to 500 millimeters. Now we can see expected muzzle velocity is 281. Then we need to scroll down and just check here. What do we have? Barrel length for full propellant burn. 4. Okay. 280 is a little bit slow, so I think we can add another one. Let's see how long barrels we need for full propellant burn. Now we need 6. If we add another one, we'll require 7.5. Okay, so 7.5. And then we go with 400 meters per second, which is double the speed. No. It's a cram shell is 300 meters per second now. So we go a little bit quicker than cram shell, and we should be able to meet the cram shells pretty far away with this setup. So then we need to go down here, and we need a timed fuse. I don't need to do anything with a timed fuse here. So full propellant burn. So we need 8 meters, as you can understand. And that's what we added. 2 4-section modules like that. All right, we are going to assign this all intakes. Then we can quickly change this whenever we want to. And here we basically have a shot. Interesting. What I'm thinking is to set this to God mode. And then we're going to... So we're going to test it against... Now, Belken from our Discord did suggest the Stalson to use as a testing unit. So let's just spawn it and see if our gun works. And we set ourselves in God mode. And this is firing loads of missiles, yes. And this is set up to shoot at both missiles and CRAMs. You can set them up to shoot at either or. Alright. So here we can see the FLAK shell came in here and dealt a lot of damage. Now this won't be able to fire again until the next round. You can see the rate of fire is 152 seconds per shot. Now this is not really, really the reload speed. The reload speed is 45 seconds. And if we want to decrease the reload speed between those 5 shots, and we would think that when our shots are spent, this gun is spent also, because we can't afford to wait 152 seconds. Now, if you want to make it shoot faster between the shots, we can add, let's see here. We're just adding like that. And then we need to do like this. We add a lot more cooling. And now you can see it shoots 9 seconds per those shots. But, of course, the cost of this gun has now significantly increased. Because each of those cooling units is 50. And we want to make the diff rods as quick as possible. So it's possible that 45 seconds is a tiny bit slow. But I wouldn't recommend you make it reload faster than, say, what could we say, like 20-ish seconds? Because most CRAM cannons and most big missiles will not reload any faster than that. So this is at 14 seconds, and this is a little bit faster than it has to be. We'll slow that down. See here, and now we also get some inaccuracy from recoil, because of course we don't want to spend hundreds and hundreds of materials on recoil absorbers, and I don't think we want to waste, like, because we don't shoot shots close to each other, we don't want to spend on tracers, because that would increase the accuracy too. It has not had time to recharge. Okay. Well, in any case. All right. So, what I was thinking to say is that we don't want to spend materials on 96,000. I'm gonna write that down. So that's like, so first time we had 95.5, I think it was. But I wonder, I'm not actually sure if this is the damage dealt or the damage that was necessary to destroy that particular missile. We can actually check that pretty easily, I realized. Okay, so 500 millimeters, check this shell. So here we can see the FLAK damage is... Oh, wait, 96,000 again, cool. At 500 millimeters, the damage for this would be 26,000. And the kinetic damage is pretty... Okay, that's weird. God damn it, how much it sounds in the background now. It's like, sounds like shit with all those explosive shells. Well. Oh, and there we could see, we could take out a cluster of them like that. That's what's making the FLAKs are pretty darn effective. I think we're gonna do like this. We are going to exchange this with a high explosive head. Alright. High explosive. So now we're high explosive. Okay, we're just... God damn, like the explosive sounds in this game is pretty shit. Oh, 48,000. I wonder if that's the combined damage. I think we need to test this against a single vessel. I was thinking to spawn a platform of my own and have a big CRAM cannon on it that we know we won't be able to take out. I think we can give it another chance. Alright. I'm starting to think I'm developing a love-hate relationship with 48,000. Interesting. I'm almost thinking this is the total damage with everything in the radius. But we're going to do like this. Like, this is not exactly what I need here. Well, the annoying thing here is that we actually need a completely different setup, a different type of cannon against shells that are kinetic. We're just gonna destroy you. So this is like a complete redesign of the shell. So if we had a kinetic shell, we usually do a heavy head. And then we are adding solid warhead bodies. No, not sabot. Solid warhead bodies, because the armor piercing value, let's see here. AP value is 36. And we only need 20 because the amount of, like the AP value of enemy like missiles and CRAMs is 20, I believe. So, we don't need sabot warhead bodies, we need solid warhead bodies. Can this like music shut up now? It's not a fucking battle, come on. Alright, anyways. This has 8 meters of barrel, we are most likely needing to have a longer barrel. That's very true. I'm also thinking we're going to add a platform here. Okay. Shut up, music. I don't remember the, like, buttons for... I know you can turn it off. Like, of course, I mean not in settings. I mean, like, the, what is it? Turn off the specific song. Alright. Seem to have gotten it a reminder. In any case, right here we're going to add one of my builds. We're going to add a pretty big cram cannon, which it should not be able to take out. So that's gonna be the detonator. Oh, like that. And the detonator ready, indeed. And this thing has, let's see here, a shell health that is 4 higher than we should be expected to be able to take out. Now what we need to do is, we'll need a little control unit here. And we need the thing we never use, enemy simulator. So we can activate the enemy simulator for like 20 seconds. And there we can see. Oh, cool. Now we can see how much damage that did. Now it did 50. Okay, I think the damage the FLAK dealt is indeed combined with all the, like everything it hit. Look at that, isn't that kind of cool? I love that, 57,000. Okay, so then we actually can start writing down the numbers here. 57k was the high explosive rod. Alright. I'm just gonna turn this on for fun. I didn't have time to shoot there. Oh, we probably want to do like this too. 57.5, right. That's good. So high explosive would deal 57.5, that's good. We're going to now test the FLAK. FLAK head and FLAK warhead body, fill to head. Do like this. Yeah, and we're also going to slow down time here because I don't know. Beautiful. Yes. Okay. Here we fire the cram shell. This is a FLAK one. Okay, good. 52,000. Interesting. Interesting. 52.3k. So that was the FLAK one, so it did got updated. I was a little uncertain if it would chamber another round instead. Like if it would have the previous in the chamber. I think that was the case before, but nowadays you only need to do like this and click like one time. Whoops. 52.3. Okay, so High Explosive deals 57.5 and FLAK does 52.3. The thing is, however, here we can see the radius here is a little bit... it's not really true, you know, this radius. Because it has some kind of drop-off or whatever, so it's not really 63 meters in radius that will deal this full damage. If we, however, change this to High Explosive, we can see that the explosive radius should be maximum 21.8. So you can imagine, if we were shooting against a cluster, this 51 will not be very far when we're shooting at a cluster of CRAMs, while the 63 meter, even though it might be only dealing minuscule damage in the corners of that radius, will still deal damage to the full volley, most likely. 63 meters is like, I don't know, it's like long, you know, 8, 16, 32... Yeah, so it's double this length. No, come on. Did I? No, 1, 2, 3. Is it like this? This is like 63 or something. In any case, so you understand that the radius of 63, it's not gonna be really that tall, of course. Okay, it seems like completely, I don't know what I was thinking. I did obviously not have math in my head. So this is a representation of 63 meters. So this pink pillar is the theoretical explosive radius of 500mm FLAK DIF rods. Now this is very theoretical. I would assume that perhaps this is the area which actually deals good damage and the rest is just a tiny bit, but it's still something. This is the theoretical damage sphere of High Explosive, and you see this would be enough to take out many CRAM clusters. But as we understand, there is a drop-off, and I do believe that the edges of this has a very low damage. I don't know what the fall-off curve is, but maybe someone can tell me in the comments. This is a representation of Kinetic CIWS, which we're gonna try too. Yeah, basically that. I just wanted to make that clear because I just realized, like, what the hell, Gmodism, what are you thinking? In any case, back to this thing. Now, you can see the velocity here, it doesn't matter very much. We will look at expected kinetic damage. And we're gonna add solid warhead bodies until the kinetic damage starts to go down instead. There we had it. So this is the maximum kinetic damage we can deal. And now there is a risk this is a little bit not that accurate. We also have this, let's see here, for base inaccuracy. We need a 13-meter barrel. What we probably also want, what we almost always use on Kinetic CIWS, is stabilizer fins, because otherwise we're just gonna miss. So if you use some stabilizer fins here, And now we can get away with having... Oh, but the damage was so much better before. Let's see if we can hit it without stabilizer fins. The first shot should probably hit. But basically, we want to have stabilizer fins, usually. Now, let's just check that. Was it higher here? Well, let's see here. No. Gunpowder. Gunpowder. Oh. Yeah, that's the max. 45,000. Cool. So, at this level, this is the equilibrium where we need a 15-meter barrel. Now, the FLAK DIF, they require a shorter barrel because they're slower shells, so that's really good for using compact diff guns. That's another reason why you most oftenly probably want to choose FLAK, but I shouldn't say anything. The purpose of this video is to test which actually is the best. But you can have shorter barrels. 8 meters is enough. But now we need 12. We have now 12, 16. All right, so now we have a 16-meter barrel, and this should cover any shell. So, heavy head assigned to all intakes. And we're going to test this one. So we'll just activate. Oh, it missed! Poor thing, it just missed. Alright. Right, so now inaccuracy from recoil. Oh, it's gonna be really bad. Okay. Slow speeds. Will it detect it in time? Come on. Oh, it hasn't reloaded, has it? Well done. Can we, like, reload? Thank you. Oh, we are going to do like this. Right. Come on. And oh, it missed. So that's like, that's another issue here. What we possibly could do is go into the rule set and ignore outside, like a lot closer, like perhaps. But the question is, I'm not sure it's gonna... Ooh, will it aim towards the targets even though it's not in the scope? That's not something I'm completely sure about. It's never really been a problem. Alright. Oh no, it doesn't have time to react. So that's an issue. I'll see if I can find a decent rule in here that could help us. One thing we should definitely do is, of course, go in here. Required accuracy before fire, turn that to 0.1. I checked a little bit in the rules to see if we can have a type of hold fire. But I think that has to be done with, like, APS and stuff. I'm not sure, like... ACBs, I mean. Not like advanced control blocks and stuff, maybe. But I feel this is something you can probably do with breadboard. But yeah. Object presence. What can that be? Can that be a projectile? No, it can't. Oh, here we might actually have something. Triggers when detected CRAM shells are within the range bracket of us. Okay, so... I set the new maximum range to 1,200. So let's like how like that. So we have a little overgap, 1,300. And we're gonna set the minimum value to ish 500, yeah? And if we do that, we could probably find something in terms of hold fire. Somewhere. Weapon systems. No. This is not what I wanted. What do you mean? Not fire, I mean hold fire. God damn it. Seems the APS option does not have hold fire either. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. Maybe some of you have some good tips you can give me in the description or something. No, in the comments. The description I'm control over. Yeah, so, but I would want it to make it kind of hold fire. We can try and set it a little lower, so 1.2. Let's set it to like 700. Maybe it has time to shoot, because this shell is pretty quick. So possibly that would work. All right. Activate. No. Well. We'll just do like this, make sure it's fresh. No. By the way, this thing probably needs a... Let's do 35. Fire like 3 shots or something. That missed. I'm gonna be ready with slower speeds. Alright. Fire, okay. Will it have time to shoot? We are detecting it. Come on. Come, fire! God damn it, fire! What are you doing? What the hell? Do we not have a shell in here? What's happening? It should be able to fire a 3rd shot. There we go. God damn, it's quick. You can see it needs to wait until it's even closer in order to maybe hit. I'm gonna play around and see if I can lower this value a little bit. To like, and we're gonna not ignore it until it's like dead on us. This is not good for big flags, of course, but we want to ignore them so that our explosive sphere are not risking damage our own vehicle. That's why we have a minimum range of input, also to be able to switch target quickly. But we're gonna see if we can fire it at 400. Now the other thing we'll probably have to do, and that's increasing the accuracy of the CIWS diff shots. And the only sensible way to do this for a low-cost system is adding stabilizer fin bodies, which will decrease the kinetic damage. So I will begin with just lowering the like range of where we target the enemy, kinda. I'm gonna do it like that. I'm gonna activate. And we're gonna... Ooh, it missed. And the next shot is like... It's gonna probably be a guaranteed miss, right? Come on. There we go. How much inaccuracy do we have? 50. Alright. And... It will not fire the second one. That's so annoying. It should. Probably. Okay, we have a 3rd shot incoming, most likely. It just misses. So we can't do that. Okay. So most likely we'll need to start adding stabilizer fin bodies. So now our kinetics goes down a bit. 40,000 from 45 to 40,000. I think it's not that bad. Should be able to up this a little bit now. To go back to 1,000 there. Let's see here, what speeds do we have? We have regular game speeds. And the game thinks we're in an epic combat once again. 8,000 damage. Huh. Interesting. We did 8,000 damage? How is that possible? Alright. I'm gonna be tuned in for the next one. Because at this point it should have... Ew! So close! Close but no cigar. Here we can see this thing. Does it... This really a heavy head? Oh, come on. I think I hate this song. I want to remove it from the library. I'm so tired of it. Anyways, I like the rest of the music though, so I don't want to turn it off completely. That's an annoying thing. You know what? We're gonna do it like this. We trigger something when we do it like this, I think. I'm not sure we do, but it feels like it. Apparently not. Well. So. And I wonder, like, why do they play for so long? Like, it tries to adapt, but it's like confused. But it's a little bit crap. Okay, we missed that shot too. That's great. I'm actually thinking we should probably be putting back some of our cooling here. Whoops. Nope. Let's see here. APS scan. Interesting. Wait, did we? We didn't hit there. Didn't hit at all. Required accuracy before fire is probably something good, but... Now we're back here. Thank you. It tried to fire. So we need to play around with the range a little bit here. Let's drag it back to 700 then. We should reliably hit in that case. Apparently not. Right. Waiting for the next epic shot coming in here with epic music. We don't see anything because of the smoke, and it still decides to miss. I don't want to have this on a diff rod system, but we're going to add some recoil absorbers just for the time of being. And we don't want that because they cost like 640 materials each. Which is too much. Nope. Okay. You shall be refilled. So now we have a really, really expensive diff gun. This is not the true purpose of a diff gun. Alright. We are at slow speeds. Good, good, good. And oh, no! Are you kidding me? I was not able to hit. Okay, so if we get some more time to aim in. It's like a lot of tinkering to make 500mm shots like this actually work well. So the main, okay, let's 500, okay. If we have 500, it might be a little bit. Actually 500. Now it dealt 45,000. All right, 45. 54, I mean, 54. That's pretty cool. think we're gonna try this again here. But we wanna do like this. 54.4. Okay. Interesting. This song sounds like Batman. I think it's pretty cool. However. Right. 54.4. So we can reliably deal 54.4 thousand. But this is after spending. How much does this system cost? 3,700 is too much for a diff gun setup, especially when it doesn't hit every time. So we're basically going to, let's see here. We're gonna have a text display here so that we can check the different values. We're gonna see if we can tinker with this a little bit. And this has a heavy head, right? Let's just check what happens if we instead change it to an armor piercing head. Oh, the damage is like halved. Now, heavy heads is what you need. I will say this, 500mm diff guns is probably not something that is useful. By the way, all the commissioned officers in the army of Gmodism, the cadets too, which I never mention, for they're not in their list, and that's $1 a month, do have access to all of my prefabs and builds. So if you want to get this, I update it kind of monthly, or depends how much new stuff I add, but usually kind of once a month or something, I'll update those files and you have the files that I build with. If you want to do that, you can check out the Patreon page and see what's in it for you. But I will say huge thanks to Admiral Super Dave, Captain Wild, Lieutenants Asteria, C2, Cravey, Parbragreed, Tyler Russ, and Vincent Veritas. Your help helps me a lot. And I want to check out here. So we have some diff APS guns. And I got some... Let's diff APS damage. Let's CIWS. Diff CIWS. So I do have these systems, which are diff guns. Like that. And we have this one. They're like 1,000 materials each. And these fire at 120mm and 420. And they are loaded with a kinetic shell. And because these are smaller, they're cheaper and they are able to hit more reliably. The reload speed is also continuous, so they can come in and shoot at every other CRAM shot indefinitely. And these are used on the really big ship, the Super Battle Carrier Ryujin class. They are having this, and they help a lot at taking out incoming missiles. So I will say that Kinetic DIF-CIWS is not bad. It's just that it's hard to make it work for 500mm and probably not worth it after these tests. So that's like the only thing I'll say here about that. So they're not like bad in any way. But yeah. What do you mean no shell loaded? Oh yeah, we changed this a little bit, yeah. 55. Okay, so now we can get to 55.7k. Thing is that there is no advantage to this. 55.7k. Right, okay, so we have that confirmed. We can write 55.7k. Cool. What I want to do now is switch to high explosive instead. So this rod here. And I think we can actually probably make this. We can actually add some high explosive. Let's see here how much we can add. 200, I think 288. I don't think we're gonna be faster than this. Let's see here. 280. What happens if I put the time fuse here? 220. Let's see if we can get away with such a slow shell. We can meet it in the middle or something. Right. So now we have like a pretty, what I would consider is a pretty darn maxed out high explosive rod. Since we tried to max out the FLAK one, I think it's fair to try and max out... No, we tried to max out the Kinetic one, so I think it's pretty fair to max out the high explosive and FLAK ones too. That was 68. 68 again. 0.5. Alright. And then we need to do like this. High explosive. 68.5k. I just want to see if it is consistent. 68.5k. Okay, good. Then we're gonna max out the FLAK shell instead. So we're gonna have FLAK warhead body. Please fill to head. FLAK. By the way, what's pretty interesting would be if we have an armor piercing head instead, we can get some free speed. It will blow up anyways, but the damage will of course be lower. FLAK damage. So let's see here. FLAK head. It's significantly higher though. It's like 2000 more. Right. There we go. Updated. Now we're gonna check for this. 62.3. Right. So that's a lot higher than 52. So 62.3k. That's pretty decent. 62.3. Let it fire its last round here. And the good thing about the FLAK is that it has to be less accurate in order to like do much. All right. So FLAK will be 62.3. These are the results. Kinetic, we can't get it over 55.7k damage. As for high explosive, we can get it up to 68.5k damage, which is, it's like significantly more than FLAK. But it's like what is it now? It's like 10% more or something. Something like that. So I mean, it is ish 10% more damage. While that's true, we just deal much less damage to clusters. So we're gonna remove this thing, and we're gonna look at the Stahlstrand as it was suggested that we test against it. I think those shots are pretty annoying. You can be not firing. I don't know which one controls which. Okay. Interesting. So we did a combined. So the FLAK rod actually hit the shell, like the missile this time. It actually dealt 61k kinetic damage to the target. That's really weird. So it seems there is no reason. Expected kinetic damage. Oh, weird. There is no reason to have a kinetic shell if you can have a flak shell that just hits head on. Now we could do 96k due to the area we could deal damage towards. And I do suspect if we're changing this to high explosive warhead body, we've seen these numbers before also. And there is 48k because the decreased amount of like the reach for that damage was lower. Alright, that's pretty interesting. And I think, of course, I don't know if we need to test this, but if we change it to the heavy head instead, it's gonna of course be a completely different story. I think we'll need to have some pretty darn slow. Will it hit? Oh, it actually did hit. Oh, it destroyed that one. That's pretty darn cool. I didn't know that a kinetic shell that damaged a projectile, I thought it was destroyed in the process, but then we learned something else. It could potentially deal more damage to more targets. But yeah, it destroyed that thing. So the kinetic and the high explosive, they're comparable, but in terms of like raw damage, the increased area of effect of flak just makes it so much worth it. For 500mm DIF-CIWS, I think we can definitely conclude that flak beats anything. High explosive is just too locally applied, so it doesn't deal more effective damage than a kinetic shell. So that's really interesting to note. I think I got enough results actually. Indeed. Well, that was pretty darn interesting, I think. I think we're gonna build up one of these here. We're just gonna have a, let's see here. Beautiful. Just took the thumbnail screenshot. In any case, yeah. So we have flak, we have high explosive, we have kinetic. Flak has a so good area of effect. The damage it can apply to several targets is just too often we need that. So there is not really any area where high explosive excels over flak. It deals a locally applied damage, so the area of effect, which should theoretically be like the blue rod, but isn't of course. However, the pink rod, the theoretical area of effect of flak, isn't of course that much, but it's still, you know, pretty significantly more wide. The kinetic shots, they're too locally. They don't deal enough damage to the targets because they miss too often. Kinetic CIWS are great, but not for 500mm diff. That's to be said. As I said before, kinetic CIWS at 120mm can be pretty good because we can make them fire continuously. We don't need as much for barrels and stuff like that. But when it comes to diff guns, you should probably go with flak. That's really the message here. And having lower calibers than almost 4 to 500, if you have lower calibers than 4 to 500, in my experience the flak damage gets a little bit lackluster. Also the radius gets so. So when it comes to diff guns, you really want it as high caliber as possible. For kinetic, you don't want that high caliber, not for diff guns. If you want kinetic CIWS, that's cool. but have it at lower calibers, maximum like 220 or something like that. That works as a diff gun, but in any case, this has been great to know. Then we know that even though we have 10% more damage at high explosive towards targets, it's not really noticeable because it doesn't spread out as much as we hoped for. So yeah, go with FLAK, that's all. In any case, I hope you've enjoyed this little empirical testing. I hope it was useful. And as you probably have seen in the Gimli battles, we had some pretty decent results using the FLAK diff guns there. Well, let's see here. Our good friend Sean Reed is coming up with a tournament which the Gimli will participate in, but I need to rebuild it in order for it to be able to participate. But yeah, that's basically that. I will say this, I've started to open a new store at Fourth Wall. It's a merch store. Please do check out that in the description if you want to check some new cool designs. I tried to keep prices pretty low because we had so bad sales before, so that means that the percentage I get will be lower. But if you for some reason would like to donate or something, Fourth Wall has this super smart feature that if you buy a merch you can write in a percentage to donate as well. It's really cool. In any case, check that out if you want to, otherwise I'll see you next time too. This is your host Gmodism from Empirical Testings, and we're signing out indeed, so thanks for watching, bye bye, and like the video. Please, in any case, have a great time, I'll see you, bye.